Hi everyone, my name's Anjali and welcome today to our WOCY Family Breaks with teens and adults, where today is International Asteroid Day. So this is a day that was created in 2014 and it was founded between a number of really prominent people, including filmmakers, a lead guitarist of the band Queen, who also happens to be an astrophysicist, so that's Brian May, and an Apollo 9 astronaut called Rusty Schweickart. I think I might have got it right. Schweickart. Don't know if I've said that exactly right, so forgive me. But why has this day been created? Well, asteroids are these floating rocks in space. Not a lot is talked about in relation to them, but they contain all the materials that go to build planets. They contain all the materials that we have on Earth. In fact, all the kind of materials that we are made up of as well. So this day is all about understanding the way in which our solar system, our world, is formed or was formed. It's about understanding how we might be able to use the resources on asteroids to help us in our everyday life. It's all about future exploration of space, and absolutely it's about understanding where they are, what they're doing, how they're moving to help prevent any major impacts. So today is the anniversary, if you like, of the asteroid that came down in 1908, and I'm just going to get the name of this place right. It's Tunguska in Russian Siberia, and so it was quite a big asteroid, and it devastated, it knocked out many millions of trees at the time. So before we start our class, I'd like us to remember to be kind, to listen to our bodies, to only do what is comfortable for you today. No overstretching. We're really going to be focusing around one particular pose. So it's really important that you do take the breaks that I suggest and really work with how you feel during this class. Please also remember to give yourself the space to do this yoga. This is all about you taking care of yourself. So respect your yoga space. Respect the yoga space of others. Right, now no two asteroids, like no two people, are the same. They are different shapes, they come in all shapes and sizes. And I thought today we would explore this idea of shape and size as we are going to work through different variations of one of the classic yoga poses, the downward facing dog. So Ardha Mukha Svasasana. Okay, Svasasana. Okay, sometimes I get my mouth a little bit trying to get around that word. Now, the basic benefits of all of these downward facing dogs are they're really good for opening up our hips, stretching and strengthening our arms, our back, our legs. We are increasing circulation in our body with a slightly incline, so we've got the blood flow going down to our heads, and it can also help to relieve tiredness. So it's a great exercise to do in the morning or just when you've been doing lots of things and you really need to get a little pick-me-up of energy. Right, now talking about this pick-me-up of energy to help you energize through these various downward facing dog poses, I'd like us to start our WOCY breath with an ocean breath, otherwise known as Ujjayi breathing. So this is where Darth Vader breath comes in, and we are going to be breathing through our throat. Now the way to build this up, if you know how to do this, please settle yourself into a nice upright, comfortable position, and you can start just gently softening your eyes, closing your eyes, and start breathing. Otherwise, just sitting up in a nice tall posture, open your mouth slightly and draw the breath in through your mouth. And feel the breath hit the back of your throat, and then breathe out in the same way. Now see if you can do it with your mouth closed. Feel your body just energizing and relaxing. As we want to help really build our stamina, our ability to breathe through these downward facing dog poses to give us a bit of extra strength, stability. Well done. Okay, so try and keep that ocean wave breath going while we're doing our downward facing dog. Right, now depending on how your wrists are feeling, I'm going to give you different options during this for you to work through. But we're going to come to our WOCY warm-up first. And I'd like you to come onto your hands and knees. So you've got your fingers spread apart to avoid too much pressure and strain on your wrists. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes under and push and your hips up to the sky as you straighten up your legs. Now, if your wrists are very sore, by the way, you can hang about there into our downward facing dog, unless your wrists are sore, and then you can bring your elbows down to the floor, still fingers spread apart, and you can push your hips up, take your knees off the floor. And this is a little bit more increased pressure over your shoulders rather than your wrists. Okay, so feel free to come into those options. Right, as this is a WOCY warm-up, I'd like us to really enjoy this as a little bit of movement. So we are either in this downward facing dog, we're pushing one foot down at a time, we're sort of swinging our hips to the side. If you are in your forearm version of this downward facing dog, sometimes known as dolphin as well, you can still push, lengthen the muscles in your legs as you push your heels down to the floor one at a time. Good, all right. And if you are in this downward facing dog, so with your hands on the floor, it's really lovely to get a little bit of movement here as we walk around on our mats, on our floor, to lengthen everything out and get a bit more movement through our back as well. Okay, let's come and sit down on the floor as we are just going to rest our wrists, our shoulders a little bit. So we're just going to move those wrists up and down to get a little bit more blood flow going into there. Right, so we're just going to move them from side to side as well, up and down. Okay, now we're coming to our WOCY exercise now. So we're going to be moving our legs a little bit more, so more pressure onto our hands, onto our shoulders. So now I'm going to start off with our forearm downward facing dog first, our dolphin, and show you what we'll be doing, which we'll also be doing in our hand version here. So we bring our hips and our knees off the floor, and we're going to breathe in with one leg up. Actually, let me just show you the movement, then I'll add the breath. Up, we're going up, in, up, down. Okay, a little bit slower. Up, in, up, down. Okay. So I'm just going to show you how we add the breath in our downward facing dog version. So we'll sing. We might want to sing through the breath. We'll go breathing in and out as you draw the knee to your chest. Breathing in as you come up. Breathe out as you come down. So with your other leg, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in and out, and see if you can do this with your ocean wave breath, okay? So being strong and steady. Here we go. You might want to come down in between each one, particularly if you are in the forearm plank version, and then move to the other side. Very nice job. Okay, let's come and relieve the pressure off our wrists, shoulders a little bit here. So we're just going to take those wrists round in circles this time. Okay, right, we're coming to our WOCY stretch now. You might think, well, isn't that all we've been doing with our downward facing dog is stretching? Well, I've got an alternative stretch for you. However, if you find this alternative stretch when I show you or you try it not comfortable, please don't do it. I'd like to invite you to do either one of the last two versions of the downward facing dog we've been doing, or the dolphin dog. And that is either walking with those heels coming down to the floor, or you can do the leg movements, so the leg raises and coming down. So for the WOCY stretch, you can do either one of those two, or you can come up and try this next version. All right, so we're going to come up onto our hands and knees into downward facing dog. And you might want to take your legs a little bit wider for this one. And we're looking to stretch. So we're taking one hand off the floor and stretching down to our opposite leg down underneath us. Okay, so you can hold it for 3, 2, 1. And then with the other side, try and take 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 ocean wave breaths. Really strengthening, getting a bit of a lateral twist, side of your body. And then bringing your knees down to the floor. Let's relax back onto our heels or seated position as we're going to relax those wrists a little bit differently now. So tuck the thumbs in, wrap your fingers over the top, stretch your arms out, and we're going to take our wrists round in circles. So what you can see here is I'm keeping my fisted hands together. I'm rolling my knuckles over each other, sides of my hands, my wrists, knuckles, and then going the other way. So it is a lovely relief for your wrists, but also we're extending those arms up around shoulder height. If you've got any tension across your upper back, lower neck, this is a really lovely tension reliever for that zone as well. Okay, lovely. All right, squeeze those shoulders up to your ears. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, you can do that with an ocean wave breath. One more time. Out. Good. Right, we come to our WOCY timeout now, and we're going to come into what is called an extended puppy dog pose. So this is a great reliever across, tension reliever across your shoulders. It's stretching your spine, your shoulders. It's strengthening your arms, your hips, your upper back. It's increasing flexibility in your spine. It really calms your body as well, and for that reason, it can be a great reliever of symptoms of stress, of strain, of tension, even of insomnia. All right, let's come into our extended puppy pose. So for our extended puppy pose, we come to our hands and knees, and then lower our elbows and as much of our arms to the floor as we can. And you can just rest if your head reaches the floor, you can reach your forehead down to the floor, or you can just stretch and open as much as you feel comfortable. Now this would, particularly when you do it for the first time, is not always the most comfortable of poses. I'd really like you to concentrate on breathing, even if it's not the ocean wave breath. And with each breath out, allow your arms to relax, that tension, those muscle tensions, that kind of muscle hold there, to just relax each time you breathe out a little bit more. You might be able to lengthen your arms and get your chest down to the floor more than I can. And that's fine, it's just everybody working with their own bodies. And then you can either lie down to the floor and rest your hands at your side, or put your hands underneath you to prop up your chest a bit, just to relieve that pressure, that stress, that muscle lengthening, that muscle relaxing. Or you can come and sit up tall, which I'm going to do to close our class today with a namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. And I thank you very much for joining me for our WOCY Family Breaks with teens and adults, where we have celebrated International Asteroid Day, those asteroids that come in all shapes and sizes, as we've explored downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana.